Buenos noches, damas y caballeros. To wrap up our day of blogging today, we will bring to you this warning from former Senator and Justice Secretary and now Congresswoman, Leila de Lima, regarding the possibility of Sara Duterte surviving the legal and extra-legal challenges on her person, to include first the impeachment complaint filed against her, the political machinations or political moves from the Marcos administration, and now the impeachment complaint filed against her in the Senate. So as we have been saying in the past, these issues, these cases can only make or break Sara Duterte. It can break her kung na-aresto na siya ng ICC at nakulong siya sa ICC compound sa the Netherlands, or nakatakas siya. And before the Interpol has time to coordinate with the Philippine government to effect her arrest. So she can also be broken kung ma-convict siya sa impeachment trial at she will be perpetually disqualified from running for office, and after na-convict siya, pwede pa rin habulin kung hindi pa na sabotahe ng Office of the Ombudsman yung kung hindi pa nila na-dismiss yung plunder case at graft cases, pwede pa yan pwede pa buhayin yan or ituloy yan kung hindi pa yan na-dismiss ng Ombudsman. Kumbaga, while tama yun sinabi earlier ni Leila de Lima, walang power ng Ombudsman to sue her kasi impeachable official siya, but she can be sued after the impeachment trial. So pwede pa yan filean siya ng complaint for plunder na non-bailable, at kung may na-determine na may probable cause, pwede siya makulong. But what if makakasurvive siya? As I have been saying earlier, that will be tragic for the country. At ngayon, ganun nga ang sinasabi niya, that will be the biggest tragedy to hit the country. At ngayon, ganito nga sinasabi ni Leila de Lima, kasi nakikita niya, compared kay former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, mas mabangis itong si Sara Duterte. At sa tingin ni Leila de Lima, mentally unstable rin. Isipin nyo, magawa niya na sa live press conference i-anunsyo na naka-hire na siya ng hitman para patayin si President Marcos, si Speaker Romualdez at si First Lady Lisa Araneta Marcos. And gano'n na nga parati natin sinasabi na if Sara survives this, then she will be very powerful, the strongest presidential candidate in 2028. At nakita na natin yung power nila kahit papano. The Marcos administration has thrown everything at them. Meron pang resources ang Marcos administration, meron pang ayuda funds, billion ng ayuda funds, meron pang mga campaign funds, pork barrel funds and everything, pero napalusot pa ni Sara yung 5 candidate niya. Lima sila, kumbaga tabla-tabla sila. Hindi panalo si Marcos over Sara, hindi panalo si Sara over Marcos, tabla-tabla lang. At dalawa sa opposition nakapasok rin. So that shows you gaano may kwan pa rin, may lakas pa rin ang mga Dutertes. Mas lalo na kung mas-survive niya itong both yung kaso sa ICC at yung impeachment complaint. Kaya it is really very important na tuloy-tuloy pa rin tayo magtutulungan to inform the public about what is happening, to develop the political maturity of our kababayan para hindi na sila madala sa mga manloloko, magnanakaw at mga killer na mga politiko natin na time and time again niloloko at ginagago tayo. So please share this vlog to as many friends as you can, to as many relatives as you can. You like it too, para kung ma-like nyo ito, mapunta ito sa inbox ng mga bubutante so that you can join VATS Advocacy, you can support VATS Advocacy to educate our kababayan. Meron pa tayo less than 3 years to do that before 2028. At also please ask them to subscribe to the Vlogcaster channel to support our electoral maturity and electoral reform advocacy. O sige, i-play na natin yung interview ni Laila De Lima, and we thank One News TV5 for this video.
Impeachment, basta ba it's something convincing.
Correct. But if she survives this, and we don't know how it's going to go because we haven't even started the impeachment proceedings, but if she survives this and does gun for the presidency in 2028, is that something that's playing in the back of your mind?
Of course, because if nothing happens, for example, well, if she is acquitted and then or impeachment is dismissed, the case is dismissed, because that's still a possibility.
Yes.
Because they have tried it anyway initially, diba? So baka ganun na naman, baka somewhere along the line in the course of the trial, meron na naman magkakaroon ng bright idea to dismiss the case. And in fact, we cannot discount the possibility that in the verified answer to be filed by the respondent, baka meron na silang prayer for dismissal dyan.
At nagawa na nila yan.
Lalo ng tinelegraph na yan ni Senator Bato.
At obviously, itong interview was made before yung nag-respond si mga lawyers ni Sara doon sa summons ng Senate. So doon na nga sa reply niya kung saan sinabi niya not guilty, humirit na rin sila sa dismissal ng kaso. So gano'n na nga nangyari.
Sa kanyang...
Well, he is trying to get it dismissed. He is.
Di ba he was trying to get it dismissed? Nagkaroon lang nag-introduce na lang ng amendments si Senator Alan Peter.
Correct.
Because I think they did not anticipate, they were not able to anticipate the public's reaction. Look at the reaction, di ba? Sunod-sunod. Yung mga issuance ng mga statements from law groups, from schools.
A lot of the schools, a lot of the top law schools in the country.
Kaya nga, nakikita nyo, kahit si Laila De Lima sinasabi, malaking factor talaga yung pag-iingay natin. So ngayon, tuloy-tuloy ang pag-iingay natin. Tuloy-tuloy ang pressure natin. Matatakot ang mga senator kung makita natin na yung pro-trial voice ay very strong pa rin hanggang ngayon. Share and like this vlog.
So I think they were not able to anticipate that. Nagulat din siguro sila. And so parang sort of a semi-Solomonic solution. Ganun na lang, pinabalik na lang, instead of magbobotohan na sila doon sa dismissal, the motion for dismissal na final ni Senator Bato. So parang face saving na rin yun. But as I said, we cannot discount the possibility of another scenario na susubukan na naman nila ipa-dismiss even before trial. So ganyan ang magiging sitwasyon. Siyempre kung ma-acquit siya at ma-dismiss, walang mangyari yung impeachment. She has more or less said it already that she is open to running
for the top.
So she will most likely run. And if things don't change, if the situation, if the political atmosphere does not change, she she might win. And
The polls say she's a good chance.
she has a good chance.
And so what has being imprisoned by her father taught you about the need to prepare for such a scenario? Ano po yung natutunan natin about, you know, I mean, I'm guessing you're not taking for granted that she's going to get convicted. But what if the other scenario unfolds? She gets acquitted, she runs for president, she wins. How are we preparing for that?
Well,
Grabe.
it's going to be a nightmare
Nightmare, tama.
if another Duterte becomes the president. To me, that would be again a nightmare. Can you imagine? Alam ko magre-react naman yung mga ano dyan, mga DDS minions dyan. But this is how I feel. And I think many also would share that sentiment or that view. Now, what happens if we have another Duterte for a president? Would it mean, again, killings? And then the foreign policy. Baka balik na naman tayo dun sa pro-China foreign policy natin na mabuti nga at naiba na nung sa current administration. Ano na naman mangyari? So lalo lalakas ng loob lalo ang China dun sa ginagawa niya sa ating West Philippine Sea. Yung ano nga natin is that may nagkakaroon na ng creeping invasion. And so China definitely is very much interested on the leadership of our country.
You don't believe that she's a different person from her father? I mean, of course, she's a Duterte, pero she tends to do things her own way din, di ba?
Yeah, she has her own ways. But she can be more dangerous.
In what way?
Look at how she behaved, and look at that very open, public, brazen threats to assassinate. That admitting that she has hired an assassin, dun pa lang magdududa ka na eh. Is she psychologically fit to hold the reins of the highest office in the land? And then, especially if this acts of corruption on her part would be proven or would be shown during the trial, can we afford that?
Thank you so much for your time today, Congresswoman.
And thank you also TV5 the long take. So yun, tama talaga si Laila de Lima. So dapat talaga wala talaga tayong choice. Sara will be more dangerous, will be worse than her father. Mas lalong mabangis si Sara. Nakikita na natin yan, yung parang nanglilisik yung mga mata niya. Buti po yung tatay niya, pa sex jokes lang, and I will kill you. Pero itong si Sara, sa tingin ko, kung 30,000 ang pinatay ng tatay niya, baka kay Sara 60,000. At siguro baka sasakupin na talaga ng tuluyan tayo ng China, kasi hindi na mamimiss ng China ang opportunity para sakupin talaga ang bansa, kasi hindi nila yun nagawa during the time ni Duterte. Kay Sara, gagawin na talaga niya yun. At siguro baka hindi lang 6 years mamumuno sa atin si Sara, baka gagawin niya lahat, pati i-amend yung constitution or i-declare ng martial law para forever ang mga Duterte dyan, at ipakulong lahat ng mga kritiko, kasama ng mga Marcoses at kasama na mga vlogger tulad ni Vlogcaster. So very unimaginable ang consequences, ang danger sa bansa kung nanalo si Sara. Kaya tuloy ang laban natin. We take Laila de Lima's representative sa Laila de Lima's warning seriously, but we should also help her, kasi siya rin una nakikita ko ikukulong ni ulit sa mga invento na naman mga kaso nila Sara Duterte. So let's help Laila de Lima in warning our kababayan about these dire consequences, about the danger of having Sara as president. Share this blog, like this blog, and subscribe to the Vlogcaster channel to join me in our advocacy in helping educate our kababayan, so that hindi na nila iboboto. They will take De Lima's warning seriously, and they will no longer support the Dutertes in 2028. So thank you very much for joining me in my last vlog. Good evening to all, and see you in my next vlog.